When you say I'm scared of black people, newsflash, you illiterate troglodyte. Everybody is.
Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about somebody who, I don't really know how to explain them. Doesn't really like black people too much, I guess. His name is Ranting for Vengeance. Now, just from the name and what you can see on screen right now, he kind of seems like an edgy person, but when you see him in real life, it's just kind of like an Xbox kid. So I guess exactly what you would expect. Okay, so why exactly are we talking about him right now? Well, he's made a couple of videos on this new comic book series that has been coming out by DC. For those comic book nerds out there, you'll know what I'm talking about, but for those who aren't as into comics, I'll just be explaining it briefly. Starting back in October, I believe, DC Comics has released a couple of issues about your favorite Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, but in a different universe called the Absolute Universe. Now, as you would imagine, these aren't the OG Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman that you're used to. These are different ones from another universe with their origins reimagined, and they're actually pretty cool. Absolute Batman probably being my favorite one, but I can remember for a while, like since it was announced, a lot of fans have been hyped for it and a lot of fans have received it very well, all except for this absolute moron right here. And the reason why I say that is because as the video goes on, you'll start to notice that this guy actually doesn't know what he's talking about all that much, especially when it comes to comics or certain characters, and it just makes him being racist even more funny, to be honest with you.
So DC has decided to reinvent Batman in the brand new series, Absolute Batman. Many people are saying it's amazing, it's a breath of fresh air.
This shit is gas, man.
Wrong.
This shit is gas. Like, is this what DC meant when they said DC all in?
I'm kind of retarded.
I'm here to tell you if that's the truth. Spoiler alert, it's not at all. It's literally one of the worst takes on Batman ever. Quick disclaimer before I start. This isn't some rage bait video. I'm not lying to get your attention. I'm telling you my opinion, which I believe is the truth. That this, A, is not Batman, and B, is an absolute dumpster fire. This comic is a disgrace to creators like Frank Miller, Jeff Loeb. This isn't the Batman they envisioned. I know it's a different take on the character, but what this does ruins the character entirely. So this comic strives to reinvent the world of Batman in every way possible. What if a bodybuilder, engineer dude became Batman? Yeah, that's not badass. I'm sorry. I don't find that badass. I don't find that different, unique, entertaining. It's just cringy. There's people all across the internet saying that this comic is badass. It's awesome. This comic literally reads like those edgy 90s comics that every single person makes fun of. It's like a 12-year-old's fan fiction of Batman. This comic has everything. It has horrible, edgy dialogue. It has some pretty gay character designs. And if you can believe it, they managed to race swap another redhead from comic books. They managed to jump in there and turn them black.
Oh, okay. I think I get it now. My bad, alright? I didn't know that he only wanted a representation for this certain group of minority, the redhead community, which if you didn't know, Barbara Gordon or Batgirl or, you know, Jim Gordon's daughter, she's originally a redhead, and he's also a redhead, so I guess he wanted some representation. Look, man, I don't understand if this guy knows that this is another universe or this is like not the mainline series, okay? But also, I mean, there's a thing called adoption, buddy. Like that's a thing in the real world. It's also a thing in comics. And here's another thing too, when he was talking about the 90s and the comics that people always make fun of, I don't know why the fuck he showed Spawn. Spawn is awesome. I don't think I've genuinely heard anybody make fun of Spawn or his comic series or his show even. So it's just kind of weird to me that he did that. I just wanted to get that off my chest because I noticed that and I was like, huh? What are you talking about? Who's making fun of Spawn? This guy read one Reddit post and thought that that's what everybody thought about the character. And look, man, I understand that there has been a problem with Hollywood and them race swapping a bunch of characters to Latina or Latino and to black and whatever, right? I get that. I'm not really for it, okay? I think it brings more harm than good, but at the same time, my guy, get over it, all right? It's not that big of a deal if Barbara Gordon is black, bro. Like, who the fuck cares? We're here for a reimagining of Batman and of Alfred's origin. We're here to see how all these characters interact, alright? How this guy makes the bat suit, what he does as a living, how his origin is different from the mainline Batman. That's what normal people were excited about. But weirdo inbreds like you are only concerned about the race of Barbara Gordon, who isn't even really in the story like that right now. It's either that you're concerned about or how the characters look gay. How does Batman look gay right now? Like, what are you talking about? Just for your information, for those who are out there watching this right now, Batman in this panel, he's talking to his mother on the steps of his house, or rather their apartment, and I'm pretty sure he's just holding a flower to his mother. I don't understand how that's gay. I'm pretty sure the mainline Batman would probably do something like that if it meant that he got the chance to spend time with his mother again, who's been dead for a while.
So after reading Absolute Batman, I think we can all agree that Scott Snyder can't really write comic books, correct? And this is a fact, proven with every single page of this garbage. There's an abundance of absolutely insane creative decisions happening here. Who, in their right mind, greenlit Alfred's look? What is the haircut? What is the beard? Why is he an MI6 mercenary with like grenade launchers and sniper rifles? This is straight up cringe, I'm sorry. So I thought Alfred was bad enough, but then we get to Bruce Wayne, the main man himself. What do you think when I say Bruce Wayne? You think the suave, charming rich guy, which in Batman Year One was originally based off of Gregory Peck, but now in this comic they're going for something a little different. Let's just take a little glance at what they thought Bruce Wayne was. So this is the page where Bruce Wayne is first introduced. We see him hitting a bag. He looks exactly like Bruce Wayne has for the last like 100 years, saying some badass Batman stuff. No fear, no pain. And then out of nowhere, this big hulking transgender comes up behind him and is like, hey bro, I think it's my turn now. And just starts blowing the punching bag across the room with his big fat arms. Now the character design going on here, he has the haircut of some fat emo transgender kid. And that is Bruce Wayne. I'm not joking. That is Batman. Then
What the fuck is this guy talking about, bro? What the fuck? Bro, first of all, how does he look like a transgender? What? I'm not gonna lie, like when I first watched this, that is not the first thing that I thought that he was gonna say. Like, yeah, he was on a pretty bad streak so far, but like, huh? What are you talking about? This coming from the guy who looks more like a transgender than anybody else. And of course, I'm not really saying that there's anything wrong with that per se. You know, it's 2024 going on 2025. It's whatever, you know, it's not really my business. But I'm just saying, dude, if you're going to make a big deal out of it, grow some fucking chin hair before you start talking. The guy with see-through eyebrows is out here talking about what Bruce Wayne looks like. Another thing about like the character design, I don't understand what's so wrong about it. I mean, like, yeah, he's a whole heck of a lot bigger than the actual Bruce Wayne. I'll give him that 100%. But once again, you know, I don't know if you heard this once or not, but you know, it's a different fucking universe. All right. This is somewhere else. Okay. This is not mainline story. This isn't mainline Bruce Wayne. Okay. This is the alternate universe, the absolute universe. Okay. Not everything has to be the same. Okay. If it did, then why would DC bother rewriting other people's origins and hyping up this story, making these characters look different when they could have just made another Batman comic? And to that thing that you said about Alfred. Okay. I don't know what was cringy or edgy about him cursing. I get it. Alfred's supposed to be a polite British butler, but I mean, like, have you seen what Injustice did to him? Like, what's so edgy about this? He's just cursing. He's a military background. And that's the thing. That's the reason why he has all these snipers and guns and shit. He has a military background, you fucking dolt. I personally like the difference between mainline Alfred and this one because, I mean, in this one, he doesn't start out as a butler. I don't even think he becomes a butler. I mean, we're only like 3 issues in, I'm pretty sure, but it's good to see the shift in character, especially for Alfred. Someone who in the mainline universe and even in stories like Injustice sees Batman as like his son. You know what this whole thing kind of reminds me of? I don't know if you guys remember this, but around the time the new Spider-Man movie came out, I think this was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I'm pretty sure. It was the one with all the multiverse Spider-Man trying to go after Miles Morales. It was that one. I remember seeing a video on TikTok about this guy calling it woke, and I remember we just we just had a field day with that guy. He was an idiot. This guy's an idiot too, but like, damn, what is it with people and trying to call everything woke when it's not woke? There's nothing woke about it. That word literally has no meaning. It's just a buzzword.
Oh, finally, we get onto the biggest offense of the entire story. Commissioner Jim Gordon is giving a speech to Gotham, and he actually looks like Jim Gordon. He's white, he has the grey hair, he has the mustache. Then the terribly ridden villains enter, the party animals, and they just start shooting up the place. Then that's when we get the glimpse of the best part of the entire story. Barbara Gordon. She peeks her head in, just one panel I'm pretty sure, and she's black. She is black. They did it again. Another redhead character just changed to black. Iris West, Wally West. Are we serious? We're just making them black for no reason and expecting people not to notice or expecting people to tolerate it. But I won't, and I hope everybody else won't either. Black Barbara Gordon just snuck her way in. Why? Think about it from a writing standpoint. She didn't even need to show up in the story. If she did, she should have looked the way she always has. I'm getting sick of this. Can we just start changing black characters to white? Can Black Panther be white in the next comic, please? It doesn't work that way because black people need to be represented. Wait, they've always been represented and you're just shoving them into stories for no reason now. You're swapping people out to make them black because you want to make up for all those years of not being represented. It's a lie and it's a scam.
Yeah, buddy, I'm pretty sure you're the only one who's still mad about Iris West being black in the fucking Flash. That happened years ago, dude. And here's the other thing about it. Even though that happened, that show was still really good. And if you ask anybody who's really watched that and the movies as to what is the better live action depiction of the Flash, they'll say 10 times out of 10, Grant Gustin's Flash is way better than Ezra Miller's. And I say this to say that it doesn't really matter who you swap characters with or who you race swap or whatever. Above all else, fans like good writing, good stories, and amazing execution. Even some fan service, which is what the CW Flash had. And that's exactly what Absolute Batman has as well. And like I said before, dude, there is a problem with like media or Hollywood race swapping a bunch of characters from like old Disney stories, old classics and whatever. It does bring more harm than good. However, what most people are seemingly upset about is that the stories are just bad. They're not like the classics. They're not like the originals. They just have bad actors. But comic books, dude, they're different. Absolute Batman, he's different. Way more different than the mainline Batman, but he still has a lot of similarities. You talk about how mainline Batman wouldn't be this emo or whatever, when mainline Batman has way more of a reason to be emo. He's not only gone through a lot more, but has lost a lot more. So anything that you're saying right now, it just really doesn't make sense.
Scott Snyder is an ultra retard. Just look at the last fight scene. I won't bring you through the entire thing because I'm kind of getting sick of this garbage even just looking at it. But basically, Batman drops down to stop these party animals. What's the difference to normal Batman? He's basically the Hulk now. His cape has turned into Spawn's cape for some reason because he can like push it out and drive people through windows and walls with it. I don't know what his cape is doing in the comic and it's really odd. Then he rips off his ears. You know those things on his head? Yeah, he just rips them off and starts cutting guys, throwing them around. Then
yeah, because this version of Batman is an engineer, dumbass, and you can see how skilled of an engineer he is in his suit. His cape has certain functions that the other Batman doesn't. His ears are little knives, and he uses his logo as a mini battle axe. Like, what the heck? How is that not cool? This comic, I'm pretty sure, is just everything that people like about Batman, but just dialed up to 11. And we're only about 2 issues in. For example, a lot of people like how the original Batman, or in some depictions of him, his cape when he crouches sinks and spreads on the floor. And then when he rises back up, it rises with him, or they admire how strong he actually is. Pretty sure he can bench press like 1,000 pounds. And last but not least, I'm almost certain that there are a whole lot of people out there who like Batman, but they don't like that he has a no killing rule. And obviously that no killing rule kind of allows for villains like the Joker to come back over and over and over again, when a lot of the times Batman could have just broken his neck or shot him or done something, and that whole Joker problem probably would have gone away. Although, you know, people don't really stay dead in comics for that long, especially if the readers like them. So I mean, it is what it is. And it's not even like Batman killed the guy that he was going up against with the battle axe. He just cut his hand off. This guy acts like he cleaved him in 2. So unfortunately, this story doesn't have an end just yet. He did respond a couple of weeks later, and it was like almost a month ago now. But honestly, if you ask me, his response video is probably one of the worst that we've seen here so far. And in the beginning of this other video, he starts talking about this other guy that made a video on him. And you just gotta watch the clip, man. Just take a look at this.
Mediocrity just continues. Before we get into this pile of dog crap, I'd like to thank the Midnight Drop for sending a massive amount of people over to my channel with his insane mental breakdowns.
Like, it's so weird how, like, people who just hate certain things, you just slap the label woke into it.
I'm retarded? Thanks, bro. It's always cool to see some support from the disabled community. When you say I'm scared of black people, newsflash, you illiterate troglodyte. Everybody is.
The best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away.
You can't stop looting and burning countries to the ground. Next time you're driving to work and you're enjoying your Marxist Batman comic, try not to get robbed or shot by your fellow brothers. To create an argument, you actually have to make some valid points. You can't just dance around throwing your arms up in the air, making weird noises like you did. It makes you look like a Neanderthal who hasn't picked up a comic except Watchmen in his entire life. Stay in your own lane and go back to anime. You low IQ mental retard.
Now you know damn well what you wanted to say. I think everybody knows what he was about to say, bro. He remembered he was on YouTube. It's insane that this guy is doing all this over one race swapped character that really doesn't matter. Like it truly doesn't, man. But yeah, in this other video, he just continues to say more of the same garbage that he was saying last time. It really doesn't even make sense. Like, I don't think I've seen anybody wet the bed this hard over one black person pretty much ever, and this is over a comic book character. So yeah. That's gonna be it for me today, guys. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button. If you want more content similar to this, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Sub up, stay safe, and peace.